Hey, we talk about health a good bit. Leo Honeycutt is here with me. Leo, we talk about our health, and I know you exercise. You're on that bike, and I try to do so, and I watch what I eat. But invariably, America is getting more and more obese, number one. Heart attacks are on the rise. Heart problems don't diminish, and a lot of it has to do with lifestyle. How do you get a handle on what your heart condition's like? Let's say you're 50 years old, 60 years old. You're doing okay. You're working out and kind of being fairly decent about what you eat. But how do you tell? You go to the doctor, and they can do a treadmill test, but I hear that's kind of inexact, and you get a cholesterol level. And so as a consequence, you have these various things that you do. But
how do you know what to do?
How do you know what to do? Well, let's find out right now. Dr. John Duncan's on the line with us right now. He's with a company over in the Dallas area. Bodyscan.com, 123bodyscan.com is his website. He's got some thoughts along these lines. Hey, Dr. Duncan, glad you joined us today on the Common Sense Show.
Good morning, Jim. It's good to be on your show.
Yeah, glad to have you, and we often talk about health care, and I'll tell you my own situation. I have all the right numbers when it comes to cholesterol and doing the blood tests, and I work out and everything, but I have friends that all of a sudden say, I had a friend who was just in great health, a professor that passed all the tests, and then he was talking to a calcium scan, I guess they call it, and it showed that he had some huge plaque buildup on his arteries. So this is your business. What does a man or a woman do that wants to be sure about the plaque buildup, to be sure that they're living the right lifestyle, to live a long life, and not really have some coronary heavy disease that's going to impact them in later life?
Well, Jim, we're at the intersection of living long and living well today, largely in part because of this advanced scanning technology that is now available to all people. This technology fundamentally sees this plaque that will, left untreated, grow larger until it either causes a heart attack or requires bypass surgery. But we can see this plaque, Jim, when it's microscopic, when it's really small, and then we have powerful treatments that have been shown to either shrink it, stop it, or slow it, so that once found, we can render it to a chronic disease and die of a healthy old age.
Well, so what is different from this new technology with a body scan machine versus the traditional technology where you do what is called just a calcium scan? Has it been gotten better or gotten fine-tuned, or why is the technology better today?
Yes, that's an excellent question. I've been in medical research, Jim, for over 30 years, and back early in my career, we realized the fallacy of stress tests, as you've indicated. President Clinton is a prime example. He had a stress test for 8 years in a row, passed with flying colors, and not 3 months after he's out of office, he has chest pain, and he checks himself in to the emergency room in New York City where he resided, and they did a heart catheterization that discovered 5 major blockages, one that was 98% blocked that required emergency bypass surgery that was missed for 8 years in a row. So I worked at an institution here in Dallas that we helped pioneer the stress test, and we learned early on that it missed as many as 20% of the people, fundamentally, Jim, because stress test cannot see this plaque that causes heart attacks. So what my scan does is called an electron beam CT. It was designed early on. There were many of us in medical science around the world trying to find a technology that was fast enough to image the heart. You got to realize the heart and lungs are in constant motion, so to take a snapshot with clarity, and particularly to find this plaque when it's microscopic, that was a challenge to have speed to do that. And this electron beam CT is the fastest scanner in the world. We only have 65 of them in the world, but it can fundamentally find this disease process that leads to heart attack or surgery so early that we could prevent at least 50% of the heart attacks and surgeries that occur today.
Gee, that's unbelievable. Now how about Now, tell me about blood. Now, a lot of people say, well, but I go get a blood test, and I check my cholesterol level. The doctor says my cholesterol level is okay. Is that inexact, too, or what do you find on the blood and cholesterol level?
Well, Jim, all these markers, whether it's cholesterol or blood pressure or diabetes or tobacco use or family history, these are what we call risk factors. And so a way for us to think about those, it's like predicting the weather. If you want to know what the weather's like, you go outside and look. That's much more accurate than trying to predict it 5 days or earlier. And so that's what these cholesterol and other things are. They predict the presence of plaque. Well, now we have a scan. We don't have to predict plaque. We can now see it. And so that's why seeing the disease that will kill you if not treated is so important and a major advancement in preventive cardiology today.
Well, I understand then the value of the body scan, having a full scan done. And now, one question of this, does it have what are the dangers? Do you have radiation buildup? I hear people say, well, you don't want to have too many x-rays. Don't go to the dentist and let him pop the x-rays of your teeth. You know, and does that, how does that relate? What are the dangers of the scans?
Excellent question, Jim. And the scan that we have was designed with safety in mind, meaning that it's the absolute lowest radiation of any scan that's reasonably achievable. To give you an example, the heart scan we do gives you 0.7 millisieverts. Now, that doesn't mean anything to you or your listeners, but when I tell you that that's the exact same equivalent radiation exposure that women get with mammography, then now you understand this is ultra low-dose radiation. So we need to kind of consider that the flip side, that if you don't get this scan done, heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women in America, Jim, since 1900, largely because we don't find it until it's too late. So by the age-old admonition, wait till you have symptoms, I can't think of a crazier thing to do if your goal and objective is to live long and live well. We got to find these diseases that can kill us at its earliest beginning.
All right, now, so let's assume that you do a scan, it shows you got some problems. Do you give recommendations, or how far do you go? Let's assume you got a pretty good buildup. I mean, is it diet? Is it exercise? Statins? Baby aspirin? What do you recommend?
Jim, it could be all the above, and that's the beauty of the scan. There are many people that we see that they live in fear every day. Why? Because a family member, mom, dad, brother, sister, or maybe in some cases the entire family have a strong history of heart disease and heart attacks. So they're just wondering when is their number up. And so we do the scans, and we find they have absolutely zero plaque. And so when I sit down with them, some of the most emotional interactions are with those individuals that I indicate the scanner, the computer says you have absolutely zero plaque. They get very emotional. Some break down and just cry uncontrollably because they lived in the grips of fear for years and years, knowing that they were going to be like a family member. Another great application of the scan is many people with high cholesterol. Published in the medical literature, Jim, at least 40% of the people that have high cholesterol on expensive statin drugs that could cause side effects, when we scan them, the medical science shows they have absolutely zero plaque. So the scanner can separate people that have high cholesterol, the ones that really need to be treated with the statins, like you talked about, that can reduce your risk of a heart attack 40%, versus those people that have no plaque and can use lifestyle instead of expensive drugs with side effects.
Doc, we are out of time. Great to have you. It's 123bodyscan.com. We want to get you back soon, Dr. Duncan. Thanks for giving it with us today.
You're listening to
My pleasure, Jim.
Common Sense.
Okay, take care.